to taking the last break. We are switching gears and we are talking about something. I try to cover a variety of subjects that affect us as a people first and foremost, because that's what my focus is. And of course, this subject is no different. And the majority of us deal with social media in some aspect or the other. And but this is more on the deadly side, if I could say, that we're going to be talking about now. And not going to give a whole lot of intro and whatever, but because I'm going to allow my guest to talk about and get his what he wants to talk about, his message out this evening, and what he's going through, what he went through. And so joining me in this segment of the evening show is my dear brother Ronnie, man. Peace,
Peace
my
and
brother.
love.
How you doing this evening?
Wonderful, sir. Thank you for the invite, extending the invitation
Yes, sir.
on your platform. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you taking time out and coming through, my brother. So what I want you to do, go ahead and and talk about exactly what happened to your son, in reference to the social media and Facebook, and just let us know what's going on, my brother.
Yes, I'm here. I'm a father.
Yes, sir.
Um, I just buried my son on Tuesday. Um, and so I'm here to address some of the issues and speak for these young people. I've done things in the community to try to reduce um, a lot of this senseless violence and things like that. And so it hit home.
Mhm.
I've my father was murdered when he was 19. I was 3 months old. Now my son murdered at 19. So I've dealt with it on both ends,
Mhm.
and puts you in a situation where this isn't natural.
Yes, sir.
We shouldn't be burying our children over senselessness,
Mhm.
So I'm here now to speak and be a voice for young people, um, the voiceless, the downtrodden.
Yes, sir.
Um, that's what I'm going to be doing from here on out. Bringing attention to the issues that we are facing, that we're sitting around as older people, older generations, acting like we don't see it, and it's right there in plain view.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just here to cry loud and spare not.
But you say what you're gonna do. That's what you were doing prior
Absolutely,
anyway. This
absolutely.
is and there's no slight on anyone when people when they lose a loved one, a child in particular, they get involved. Their activism,
Hmm.
is kicked into high gear.
Hmm.
But you were already doing that type of work
Absolutely.
anyway. You are already out there,
Hmm.
you know, talking to young people probably about this very thing.
Absolutely.
Just and it's not so much just the social media aspect, but just squashing beef and talking it out. Conflict resolution.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is something that you was already involved in.
Hmm.
But before you get into the situation with your son, just talk about because like I said, you're not. This is something that's not new to you. So talk about your involvement out there in the community, dealing with our people.
Well, I've done things like going all over the city of Chicago, wherever Black people live, reaching out to young people, outreach, boots on the ground,
Yes, sir.
reaching them right where they are. Not trying to act like I'm higher than them or anything. Just reaching out to them. See, I feel like we have to um, come to them instead of preaching and wagging our finger.
Mm.
What's going on with you? A lot of issues that we face in our communities, rooted in poverty, homelessness. A lot of these young people are dealing with a whole lot of things, and um, that I think a lot of us are just oblivious. We just don't understand.
Right.
We at least, yeah, we don't understand.
Yes, sir.
Um, so talking to them and seeing what they need, a lot of these little people, they don't. It be something as simple as an ID.
Mm.
Can't go to school, get in college without an ID. Can't get a license without an ID. Can't get a job without an ID.
Mm.
And they're displaced. have issues at home due to a lot of the conditions, drug abuse and uh, single parent homes and things like that. And
Okay.
let me say this: I'm a single father. I raised three of my children by myself.
Mm.
So I'm not here to beat up on black women and say that, blame them for the ills of our community.
Yes, sir.
And neither am I here to blame children. What kind of society we live in where we blame our youth for the ills in our communities? Something's wrong with that. And by dealing with them and listening, learning how to very important part of communication is listening, and trying to address them and help them in those areas. A lot of young people are angry. This is all by design, and this is they've been trained to do these types of things.
Yes, sir.
We have a system of oppression that our people live under. And what we are seeing them doing and how they're acting out is a direct result of this system, So that's why I'm here to kind of bring attention to that.
Yes, sir.
I got some things. People have been asking me since the murder of my son.
So go on and talk because what I wanted to do is and again, there's no slight on anyone else. I just wanted to let the people know about your background and that this is work
Yes.
that you have always been involved in
Absolutely.
as far as out there with the community, with the people.
Yeah.
But like you said in the beginning, this time it hit home.
Yes.
The very work that you're trying to do,
Yes.
it affected you. It came right in your home. So talk about that.
And here's the reality, brother. When this happened, I was not shocked.
Mm.
I was numb. In some ways, I kind of mourned my son while he was here. You see it, you hear it, you feel it. Yesterday was somebody else's day. Today is mine. Whose day will it be tomorrow? This is what we're living under. These are the conditions we're living under.
Yeah.
And we can't be naive and, use lazy arguments to try to make ourselves feel good about the conditions by blaming or wagging our fingers at everybody else, instead of getting to the core of these things. What's wrong with these young people? Why are they lashing out?
Yeah. So let me ask you: when you say you said you wasn't surprised.
No.
That's the language you use. So when you
I wasn't shocked.
You wasn't shocked. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. So you wasn't shocked. So when you say that, I'm pretty sure the people are wondering, just like I'm wondering, are you saying you wasn't shocked because of the way society is right now, or was your son involved in something, and so that led that, to what happened to him? That's the clarity I was looking for.
All of us are involved one way or another.
Yes, sir.
Whether everybody has this attitude. Young people have this attitude that people that look like them are the ops.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter if your child is a scholar, an A student.
Right.
We've seen this.
Yes, sir.
We've seen it. So everybody's affected by it. So what I'm saying is, ideally, nobody should be shocked, brother.
Yeah.
Nobody should be shocked.
Yeah.
Black death is permeating all throughout this country.
Yes, sir.
Wherever we live, wherever we dwell, everybody's dealing with this. Nobody should be shocked.
Right.
And so I'm saying that there's work to do. There's things that we need to do as opposed to just sitting on the stool of do nothingness, wagging our fingers and blaming, the small symptoms of the problem as opposed to, and we need to deal with the symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
but there's something even greater and bigger than that. That's sitting back watching us like we're an ant farm, and how we're dealing with certain conditions. You have these group of people over here who have an attitude of I got mine,
Mm-hmm.
you get yours.
Yeah.
And then we have another group of people who are dealing with all the other ills, the homelessness, the drug addiction, the guns, all these other things. And so there's a intertribal battle, if you will, amongst our community,
Yes.
where it's one side they're saying, hey, listen, I escaped it. Why can't you? You know, we climbed the ladder, and then you got help up the ladder. Then you get up there and say, why you ain't up here with me?
Right.
You know.
Get a short memory.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Selective amnesia, especially with us, my generation and older. We act like this is music that the children are listening to, and the movies and all those things. I mean, we were the ones who ushered that in. But now we sit up here, did all kinds of things in our youth. Young people are going to make mistakes. They're going to do things that are not smart to do. We've all done them. We just didn't have social media where the world could see us in our ignorance. You know, so now I seen old card crackers, you know, people that crack cards and whatnot, starting wagging their finger, talking about lock them up and things like that. Well, what about you?
Yes,
so it's that what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to knock anybody or beat anybody down. What I'm saying is trying to bring attention to some of the things that's going on that we can do for ourselves by going out into the communities and talking to these young people and say, listen, what do you need? You need resources. You need resources. You need help. What can we do for you? We are the elders. We are the older people in the community. They can't be expected to just fix their problems, and they don't even recognize the problems.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, sir. And so, and I follow you, and I'm with you. And this and what you're saying is about dialogue right now, and not talking at them, but talking, you know, with them, with these young people. Did you so? But with the advent of social media, it's almost like the gift and the curse.
Absolutely.
You know? So, you know, if we can utilize it, we can do wonderful things with it. Network, family. You know, I'm not going to plug, but it's a documentary. I'm not going to give them fair play, but it's about the effects of social media with not only the young people but the adults as well, and how it's just playing a part with just, you know, just making them really even unable to even, you know, communicate with one another.
Right.
You know? So, and which probably leads to, you know, what the reason why you're here now, because even like when we text one another, you know, sometimes texting is fine in my opinion if it's a short, you know, hey, on my way, something quick like that. But when you're trying to explain something,
pick up the phone.
Exactly, because
tone.
Yes, sir. Because it can be taken out of context.
Absolutely.
You know, lost in translation. Is
Absolutely.
What I was looking for. So,
Absolutely.
You know, we got to know if it's serious or were we joking after the end of that statement. You know, because I don't see no LOL at the end. So I mean, what are we talking about here?
Right.
So, but that's us as adults. I mean, and we go through that. So just imagine a young person.
Absolutely. So real quick, I'll share this about my son.
Yes, sir.
Young people get in their emotions and they, what I call emotionally react instead of mentally responding to situations, to conflicts in particular, in this instance. So there was a post where I saw my son going back and forth with certain people, and I knew this type of interaction could escalate because I've seen it hundreds of times. So usually when I see them post something, I'm on it and I say, hey, take that down. Even if it's something very minor, it could be taken misconstrued the wrong way because, as you said, you know, things get lost in translation.
Right.
I saw it later, and
you know, later
after I saw the after effects.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so this thing escalated. Things happened. We're here. I've seen this happen so much in the communities where people making fake pages and creating real pain and real problems and adding on to the destruction in our communities. And so that is something that I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know how to curtail that. But I need to talk to people and see if there's something that we can do as a community first, where we can kind of um, get a hand on this stuff. But it's so hard. How can you really? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I see it all the time with young people.
Because I know a lot of, and the young people, even though they may not be able to articulate, how they feel a lot of times, or express, but everybody wants to be respected, and
Absolutely.
they have this thing
Absolutely.
that they don't want to be disrespected. They have sense enough though they don't want to be disrespected,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes, do they realize that sometimes they can be disrespectful?
Absolutely.
So it's almost like, but that's where the conflict resolution comes in. And like you said, we as adults have to be able to. That's why we have to engage. And unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to save all of them,
Mm-hmm.
but we got to do our best to get as many as we can. And if we're not engaging with them, if we just, with our own children that's in the house, if we just coming home and they're in their room with the door closed and we don't engage with them, just going back to those, and not being cliche, but just sitting down, when it's time to have dinner. We need to know what's going on, what's happening,
Need to know what's happening.
Deep in depth, hey, I'm going for a ride. You coming with? Not do you want to come with me? You coming with me? Let's chop it up, and because it may be something he may not want to say in front of his sisters or mom or something like that, just to dad only.
Absolutely.
But and that's another thing. And I know we're not beating up on the women, but men have to step, whether they fathers or father figures.
Yeah, this is
And callers, we're coming to you shortly.
all these young people. When I see young black children, how could I not think of my children?
Yes, sir.
So they are my children
Yes,
in my
sir.
mind. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do anything to hurt them. I'm going to do something to help them, or I'm not going to do anything at all. And that's really what I'm saying. We have to get to a place where we as the adults, we're not. See, a lot of people are scared of these young people.
Yes, sir.
That's the reality of it.
That's an actual fact.
Listen, Roseland, Inglewood, South Shore, Austin, Garfield Park. There's not a community in the city of Chicago where I haven't walked up and talked to young brothers that was hanging out on the corners.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have it on them, the guns, right? You greet them in love.
Yeah.
You talk to them since nobody has ever told me, and my message was, listen, America's a violent country, right?
Mm.
It is not my job to tell you how to handle your beef. If you have a problem with another man, how you two deal with that, that's between you two, right? You can't shoot our women and our children. You cannot involve in other words, you cannot involve the community in what you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to handle that between you two, right? Don't involve us in there. There should never be a time where anybody feels comfortable shooting up a playground or shooting towards children playing at a school or getting dismissed from a school and in public places. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But my day, that didn't happen. It was kind of more structured how people moved throughout the streets. You couldn't do those types of things, Now is mayhem. And mainly and I want to say this, there are too many 50-year-old gangsters, old washed up wannabes who they have made mistakes in their lives, and instead of them turning from those ways, it's like they have this hate for young people. So they are the ones who are handing those guns. They are the ones who are putting drugs and things like that into their hands. See, this is one of those things where we know about it, we see it, we don't say nothing about it.
Yes,
Our communities now, for young black boys, is like we act like we're on a prison yard. You got a group over here, you got a clique over there, you got a little crew over there, and everybody's sitting around. Then you got some little lambs over there too, and everybody's sizing each other up, looking for an opportunity to get joy from destroying someone who looks like them. Something is wrong with that. That whole prison mentality
You
that
have to change that mindset.
a lot of these older cats are still trying to hold on to yesteryear, and they're poisoning these young people. That is a very major problem in our communities. These old cats.
Yeah. Let's get in a caller before we take this break. Miss Karen, you've been holding patiently. You're on with Brother Ronnie. Yes, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Praise be to God. Thank you.
Founding member. I wasn't the founder. Yes.
Yes, mm, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Hmm.
Mm, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
Thank you, Miss Karen. Thank you, ma'am.
peace and love.
All right. What we're gonna do? We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back. If you want to reply, you can. But Cliff, Marion, hold fast. Thank you for your patience. We'll be back and after these messages and talk more with our dear brother Ronnie Man.
Karen Hicks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're on a break right now. Could y'all hear the show good? Let me know. Somebody let me know. Can you hear everything that's going on?
Anticipated film, The Little Mermaid, starring the young and talented.
What's up, Humpy?
The Little Mermaid is the beloved story of Ariel, who for the first time is a black, beautiful, and spirited.
You can't hear the background? Janice.
Already this film
Wow.
has captured the imagination of young black girls across the country.
Go to WVON.
Ariel, and we think that
Let me see.
To do our part, WVON has bought out an entire theater for the movie this weekend and donated all the tickets to It Takes a Village.
I ain't got no link to give y'all.
We hope
If y'all can't hear it, I'm going to close it out.
Join us in this challenge by buying tickets and donating.
Yes, they are crying out for help.
Let's make this a magical weekend for our little
Cynthia
Ariels
Mathis,
all across our
social
nation.
engineer.
We want
Peace
them
and
to know
love,
how
brother.
beautiful they are. We want their spirits to soar and their little hearts be filled with adventure because they matter.
Okay, so you can't hear the callers. Okay. Okay, so I'll just recap what the callers say when they call. We on a break right now. Okay. Much love, bro. All right, Humpy. Couldn't hear the caller. Okay. All right. So I'll just reiterate what the callers have said so that you all will know what's being said. Yeah.
Welcome inside the Black Star Project, live from the Xfinity Studios here at WVON Radio 1690 Talk. We're going back after this.
Okay.
It definitely takes us elders to reinstill and live out the notion that it takes a village to raise up our youth. Love and peace. Peace to you, bro. You're kicking some real ish.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Today in the city of Chicago, our youth, teenage boys, going around killing each other, shooting each other, by the wishes and goodwill of some devil sitting back behind the wall. That's right. That's right. 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 He just like to kill us. And you sit still and quiet. Get after our youth. Right. Teach our youth the knowledge of us and the love of us. Not to kill, brother. If you want to kill those that's killing you in your brotherhood.
And we are back to the evening show. I'm Brother Mandeem T. Muhammad of the Coalition for Remembrance of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Just wanted to play a little bit of the messenger. That was back in 1967, 67 Saviors Day right here in Chicago. Normally we play a little more. We're pressed for time, but I did want to show that, you know, it's almost like he could be talking about today. He could have said 2023. But I just think it's significant that when we have a moment like this, to make sure that we include the wise words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So what we're doing now, we're going to continue our conversation with our dear brother Running Man. And we just talked to Miss Karen Hicks, you know, a little while ago, a few minutes ago. So I know if you want to reply off of that, or you look like you was moved at what you just heard of.
Man, I just heard from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I'm on fire over here.
Yes, sir.
Because you said in 1967, he said this. This stuff is in plain view, brother. It's been 60 some years since he said, almost about 60 years, I think that's 55 if my math is correct, since he said such a thing. The scripture says that, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And that's all I'm really talking about here today, that there are systems or principalities in place designed to destroy Black families. There's a system or power designed to make Black death trendy while profiting from it. There's a system of rulers of darkness of this world that has trained our young people that they are each other's ops. There's a system of spiritual wicked folk in high places that say Black Lives Matter on one hand, but then flood our communities with drugs and guns and all manner of evil. This is our problem. This is our main issue. This is the core of, this is the root cause of what we're dealing with.
Yes, sir.
But it's so easy and it's so cliche to just talk and blame each other instead of, we see it. We see these wicked folk in high places and we do nothing. Man, I'm going to use my platform and my voice to cry loud and spare not.
Yes, sir.
And shake things up for these young people. Nobody's speaking for them. Listen, if you want them to know who nobody's taught them who their enemy is. And so now they think that they are. So I'm fired up, man, by listening to that. And I just wanted to share that this is what we're dealing with, something that's greater than ourselves. And we're acting like we don't know it. We don't want to say it, what it is. Let's deal with this thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have a platform to get your thoughts on, my brother. So that's what we're here for tonight. So we got a couple of callers that was holding. I know Cliff had fell off. If that's Cliff, we can bring Cliff on first since he was waiting a little long. Cliff from Connecticut, you on, my brother? How you doing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, you good. And we definitely run out of time. Thank you, my brother Cliff. Thank you, Cliff from Connecticut. I'm sorry, you there? Okay. Thank you, brother Cliff from Connecticut. Get a comment, or we want to
Go to the next call.
Marion Beck, you're on this evening with brother Ronnie, man.
Peace and love.
Mm. That's a good point. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. No, I feel you on that one. You're right. You're absolutely correct. Mm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Excellent comment. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You know, as she was talking and when she was referencing the young people with the pants sagging away. And I know it's a style with a lot of them, they really don't know. But I think a lot of times it's the delivery
Mm-hmm.
also and how you
Mm-hmm.
say things. I
Mm-hmm.
was driving one day, I was on King Drive, and it was hot outside, but it was warm enough. And it was two young men to the side of me, driving, windows up, hoodies on, full mask on. And I was like, and I was, honest to God, I was gonna, the light just changed, and
Mm-hmm.
but I was just gonna tell them, look, I don't know what you're up to, but don't cooperate with the people and put yourself in a position that something may happen to you. You may just, because a lot of times these young people, they're not thinking, they're
No,
not thinking straight.
no.
There's no fault in them because they're still growing, they're still evolving. So, but that was like that was putting a target on them, from anybody. I mean, you ride it down the street with your hoodie on and a full ski mask, you asking for problems.
That makes sense to you and I, brother.
Yeah.
Makes a whole lot of sense to them. We I've learned I know nothing when it comes to these young people, right?
Hmm.
So I try to listen and try to understand them.
Yeah.
Young people make a lot of the problems that they have is because they emotionally react as opposed to mentally responding. They cannot get control their emotions. Uh, Women are the heads of households. Women are emotional. It's not sexist or anything like that, but it's the reality. We talking real tonight.
Hmm.
And so they take on those characteristics, right? And then they're already a part of a system that's designed for their destruction. So now they take on the characteristics of their oppressors
Hmm.
and start doing things uh, to harm each other. And they get glee and joy from making people feel hurt and pain. I can't hate them.
Yeah.
I have a level of compassion. Something is wrong with that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How could I hate? I don't know who did whatever to my child. I don't hate them. I don't. I'm not sitting up here talking about we want justice and all that. And then for people who do that, that's for them, right? That's not my fight, right? I would rather deal with them, and I don't want nothing bad to happen to them. It won't be no lickbacks, and I put that out to my, the young guys around my area. There won't be none of that. Somebody has to say enough is enough.
Mhm.
We have to stop.
Yes, sir.
One of the main reasons why I got involved in the community, not only for my children's sake, but I know what it feels like to be robbed of a father. Brother, I've never been able to call a man dad. I don't know where I get my swag from. I don't know where I get my walk from, my talk from. I don't know, right? I don't want black children to feel that pain. That was one of the main reasons why I got active. Now I got a duality of it. Now it's also, I don't want parents
Feel that
to
pain.
feel what I feel.
Yeah.
And real quick, I just want to say this.
Yes, sir.
Chicago is a beautiful city. It's the most segregated city in the world, they say. Communities here, Germans over there, Irish over here, Polish people over here, Puerto Ricans over here. I want to use them as the model. Division Street, anybody go there from Western to California, half-mile block.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I call a liberated zone. I'm able to go over there now in the 90s and early 2000s. There's no way in the world I could walk over there, right?
Yes, sir.
There was violence, there was everything over there. But now look at what they got over there now, brother. You go through there now. I've done a reel, a Facebook reel. I haven't put it out yet, but I counted. Clinics, 2 high schools, dentists, lawyers, housing, even housing that looks like San Juan, where they come from, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a liberated zone. Also, politicians. There's no crime. Let me back that up. There's no gang banging or whatever, guys standing around attacking people, things like that, right? You're free to walk through there and spend your money and things like that. Now, we can do the same. What happened to the old guys who used to be out there in the streets and banging and things like that? Well, the politicians make sure that some of those resources go to them to make sure that they have some protection over there, that people are not, to make sure that the riffraff stay away. What I'm saying is, and that's a half-mile stretch, all of their businesses up in there. I counted a Chinese restaurant and a Mexican restaurant, a big box store, a Family Dollar. Everything else is owned by them, right? We could have those in our communities. We should have those liberated thrive zones in our own community where we're giving violence a chance. We're giving them opportunities to be entrepreneurs. Our people are beautiful. These young people have beautiful minds. If you talk to them, you'll see that. You know.
Talk to them.
So the politicians have these resources, and they're selling out. They have sold our people out. We know this. How is people like Emma Mitch still in office after 25 years, 24 years, or whatever, however long she ain't did nothing, but basically gentrified she's gentrifying off Austin now. And it's countless others, Bill out there out south. It's countless others who are taking these resources, and where are they going? Why is there no programs for these young people in our communities? There are programs. I won't say there's nothing for them, but there should be right there at their door. Let me tell you this: when I need services, social services, you know what I do? I go down there to that Thrive Zone in the Puerto Rican neighborhood, because I know I'm going to get what I need. I couldn't even tell you in my own community, and I'm active in the community, I can't even tell you where to get certain resources at, because it's all
What's that of yours?
Austin. The oldest black,
That's why
where the majority of black people live.
Yeah.
In Austin.
So have you I'm assuming you have engaged with some of the politicians over there.
No, but I'm gonna raise hell.
Yeah, but that's what I always say. They're not here, so they're not able to speak for themselves. But let me just say this: but always make sure you reach out to them first. Give them a chance before.
I am a believer in doing for self.
Yes, sir.
Right. However, there are resources, and that's all politics is about: control of resources, right? So these people are hoarding resources and whatnot.
Yeah, challenging.
Somebody got to cry loud and
sir.
spare not. Somebody got to draw attention to this. This is lunacy. That we allow these people, and then these are the same people from the same age groups who say they blame the kids, and they know damn well that these politicians are doing what they're doing to our children, or not doing.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
But everybody just sit back on the stool and do nothingness and make lazy arguments and say, what about the parents? You know how much of a slap in the face that is to a hardworking, upstanding parents who have taught their children the right things and whatnot, and then they get caught up into this vacuum of destruction. That's a slap in the face. That's a lazy argument.
Yes, sir.
Why are we not getting to the core, the crux of what's going on in our communities. And quit playing these games with these. Our babies are dying right now, and men are talking about LeBron versus Michael Jordan.
That's all that's on the family.
The whole time that I've been dealing with arranging my child's funeral, I'm looking on social media and I see black men. Now, and I'm not even knocking that, because every now and then I'll engage too.
I get
You know what I mean? Mike the GOAT. But what I'm saying is we get so distracted that we don't. Do we care?
Yeah.
What is? I have a granddaughter that's 1 year old. What is the world gonna look like when she turns 21?
And that's what I try to tell men in particular. Even if we just do this for selfish reasons, if you have children, you have daughters, who's your daughter gonna marry? You have sons, who's your son? Aren't you concerned about who they gonna bring home? You gotta get out there and engage with these young people. I mean, I take it a step further. Like, if you ain't not taking care of yourself, you may end up in a nursing home, and that's where a lot of these young people are gonna be working. They may remember you for walking past them. So. But we cling. I'm sorry, we're getting close to the top of the hour. And I'm going to clear some of these callers out.
Okay.
Anita, you were on the evening show. You got a question or comment? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Gotcha. Thank you for your comment tonight, ma'am. All right. Okay. Thank you for your comment. You want to reply?
I want to address. I see this pattern that's happening, and what a lot of the callers are saying. And I'm gonna say this: we can't keep using Dutch oven parenting, antiquated methods in the air fryer age. Times have changed. Those things, because of the system is doing exactly what it was designed to do way back in yonder years.
Mm.
It's doing it now. So now we have to deal with it and I understand what people are saying about morality and all those types of things. There are thousands of people who are teaching their children, who's teaching their children destructive things. There's thousands of people who are teaching their children those things. But we are at a place now where the system is operating on autopilot. They don't even have to get involved. We're destroying ourselves now because of all the ramifications of the crack era and men trying to hustle and things like that, going to the penitentiary and all those types of things. We're dealing with the effects of that stuff. The crack babies of the 80s are big mama and them now. So while I understand that people are trying to hold on, we got to throw that cookie cutter away. and deal with things as they are, as opposed to talking about how it was in my day. It ain't your day no more. It's a new day.
So you're suggesting that we all need to sit down in a room and iron this thing out.
We need to really we have to quit. We have to look at ourselves and simply say, what can I do? I hear a lot of people who say very damnable things about young people who, if they seen them walking up the street, they'll cross the street. They've never said a word of positivity. I've seen people on my block prejudge my children and look at them like they ain't nothing because they don't understand. They got tattoos on their neck and whatnot, which I wasn't a proponent of, but that's what they do. I mean, I said, don't get no tattoos on your neck, my son, when he got 2, right? So, we have to throw away the cookie cutters and let's get to the talk. Listen to these kids. Go to them and say, what could I do? How could I be of service to you? Instead of just saying they ain't raised right. Lastly, I want to say real quick.
Let's do this because we're at the top of the hour, and I want to give you opportunity to close out properly before I go to my next visit. We do have a caller that's waiting to talk to you too. So don't forget that point that you want to make.
Yeah, I want to talk about the gates.
Yeah. So what we're going to do? Is that time right, brother? Yep. So we're going to take this break, pay them bills, and come on back and let our brother close out properly. And of course, we're going to have you back again, my brother. So there's not the last time.
I appreciate that.
All right, so we'll be back on the other side.
Chicago is 1690 WVON Chicago.
Yeah, so I was just gauging this. I kind of figured it probably could have been longer, but I got my biological little sister, younger sister, she called me in. She's got an organization in Inglewood called Imagine Inglewood If. Imagine Inglewood If.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's a lot. That's my people in England.
Right.
There's so many operations and organizations in England.
Yeah, Rage, all them.
I went to school. So with all these crazy narratives they keep putting out there about it, so I just continue to beat it to death, and kill it because there's so much going on there. And I'm out west a lot. I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that one. So I don't know why I thought you was on the south side. That's why I was asking what.
I'm all over, but I'm from I was born out west. I was raised up north. I was raised on the north side.
What part?
Albany Park, Uptown, Rogers Park.
I spent a lot of years on they call it near north.
Around Cabrini. Yeah, Old Town area. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get into nothing like that. Anyway, I was quiet. I did my little thievery. So I ain't out there trying to judge nobody, but
you wasn't taking that risk, huh?
I only went so far. I knew my limits.
There you go. Me too.
So I lived in the house with my aunt. She's 87 now, but so I mean, where else am I gonna go?
Right.
So I just made sure I didn't get caught with
I just want to make a call to action to people. I don't believe in just talking.
So I didn't know, and we could have talked more about. So I saw you still involved in New Era?
No.
Okay. And no, because we didn't get into all that.
I used to be the president of New Era.
So is it one in Chicago? Because I know they got New Era in different towns.
Yeah, it started in Detroit.
Okay.
We was the first chapter.
Okay.
And I don't know what they got going on now. I don't keep up with them like that.
I'm familiar with some, I don't know them personally, but I'm familiar with someone that's involved in it. So I do see them out from time to time. So
George Floyd died, murdered.
But
relentlessly of fire convicted
wide open field with a wide awake man.
Yeah, they're not my enemies. You know what I mean?
I wasn't implying that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying they're not my enemies or nothing like that. I don't got nothing. You know what I mean? They doing what they're doing. I hope, hopefully, it's powerful and impactful. You know, blessings to them.
It's not like it ain't enough work for us all.
Man, we have so many layers. Black people need a little bit of everything. You know, we need a little bit of everything.
And I try to, even when I'm at the store, it's some that's that's receptive, and I got to do more of talking to them. I tell you, I don't walk past them. I definitely speak.
Right.
But and I know what you mean. But you know, to some of the older people, they can look a little intimidating now, man.
Man, listen. Yeah, and now I'm dealing with it because now I went to a restaurant, man, and I'm like, my son got killed 3 blocks from my house, right? So it's like, damn, I might be walk past the guy who killed, you know what I mean? Like, so now I got that on my head, and so I gotta, I gotta deal with that. I've never had no kind of fear, no whatsoever. Now there's this hesitation and whatnot.
My cousin, 2019 was a rough year for me. There was a lot of deaths. But like from there, 2 of my uncles, one of them was like a father to me. But they made their transition.
Yes.
Rather.
Yeah.
But the 4th death, like my little cousin, he was like my little running back.
Yeah.
He just really
cause you to lose your
make 19,
That's your
18, maybe get ready to turn
It's the
19.
afternoon show.
Man, my aunt, the one that adopted me, she still, it hurts her to this day, but she, last words she said to us, she had asked him not to go out this night. And he said, auntie, it's okay, they love you. The streets don't love you, so that's why I was trying to tell you for the moment, man. And, he wasn't out there bad like that. He loved art. He was out there, he was doing his little thing, smoking cigarettes and whatnot, but he still gave me my respect.
Right.
But man, he almost made it home. These cats, and they get into it over the dumbest. And he was changing. He was changing. Wasn't out there like that anyway. But he was just fading away. I don't know if they assumed he was involved in another friend's death. But he ain't even built that way, man. He used to love the Incredible Hulk when he was little.
Yeah.
Want to know why? Because he felt that nobody could beat the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
So he said to me, "Cuz I get so mad. I just want to turn into the Incredible Hulk."
Right.
Because he felt nobody could beat the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
So, and man, Jack, and, like I said, these guys caught him out there right feet away from my aunt's house.
Yeah.
And one of the neighbors, they all knew him, they saw him grow up.
Yeah.
And one of the neighbors said, she just apologized. She said, "I'm so sorry. I heard the gunshots and I heard him saying, not like this, not like this."
Yeah.
And my little cousin laid out there, and, laid there as cops, because we have another cousin he's a police officer in Bellwood.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Cuz he probably could have been saved because he bleeded out, because they would have got to him. But they get to him, they didn't see him to the morning.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's crazy, man. But even, killer's still out there. And social media, somebody was saying that they believe they know who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Some kid, dark skinned dude, gapping his tooth. I'm like, damn, I go over there all the time. It's crazy. I wasn't there, didn't hear gunshots, but I still feel like I go through PSD every time I pull out the garage. It's like it's somebody on the corner. I'm always try to be, I always try to be up on situational awareness anyway.
Right.
But it's like, man, it's like it did something to me. What you gonna do? I'm gonna take another 10 minutes. I'm gonna take Karen's call and let you close off properly.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring my personal. But I appreciate this, man. I just want you to be heard.
Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate
Known as
that.
the Queen of Rock and Roll. Born Anna Mae Bullock, November 26, 1939. WVON remembers.
And I appreciate you
Tina
being
Turner,
open.
gone
Giving your
at
thoughts,
83.
To what?
I said I appreciate you being open.
Yeah.
And putting out your thoughts.
Oh yeah. I've been dealing with my children.
Gotcha.
I got some time now, so more time now, so I can focus on the work.
We're doing it again.
The Talk of Chicago, 1690.
Jay.
From the Xfinity Studios at WVON, we are the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back to the evening show. Brother Mandine T. Muhammad along with my guest for this segment, Brother Ronnie Man. And what I want to do, I brought you over to this segment because I want to make sure you close off properly, my brother. And I know Sister Karen wants to chime back in with something, so we're going to go straight to her before we let you close us on now. So, Sister Karen, go ahead with your question or comment now. Mm. Yes, ma'am. Mm. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Yes, ma'am. Sister Karen, I was dropping
Yeah.
bombs. Getting them
Yeah.
out of here.
She gonna
Thank
do
you, Sister
that.
Karen. So look, brother, and again, we're definitely going to have you back. But I just want to at least give you an opportunity to get your thoughts out, my brother, and I appreciate that. And the fact that you're not looking for sympathy, you're not blaming, you're expressing
I'm
yourself,
looking for action.
you're
Hmm.
expressing yourself, but you're looking for solutions as well.
Absolutely.
So it's not about just going pity party. It's a call to arms, for us to
Absolutely.
get out there and go after our young people. So with that being said, I want to go give you the floor for you to close out properly.
Thank you, brother, again for inviting me out.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, during the crack hour, um, it was so destructive. It caused our women to uh, not adequately be mothers, fathers, to not adequately be fathers. And so what happened was a lot of us in the community, we started getting these steel gates. If you look at them, they're all over our communities now. Everybody got their steel gate. And I must admit that I hate those steel gates, brother. The reason why I hate those steel gates is because those were the key to that made the community not be come together no more.
Mhm.
It became all about me and mine within the parameters of these steel gates. We no longer, there was no more nosy Miss Mo.
Mhm.
There was no more uh, Mr. Cages who would check the young men.
Mhm.
When we were doing things we had no business doing, they go, Mr. Cage, you can't, get ourselves in check,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now we are where we are, people. We are where we are. So I would like for people to come out soon. Follow me on my social media platforms.
Mhm.
Follow me on Facebook, Ronnie Man Hatcher. Follow me on YouTube, Ronnie Man/Rise Up.
Let's spell that.
Ronnie Man, RONNIEMAN Hatcher, HATCHER. Rise Up Chicago, that is my organization. That is a Facebook page there. You can follow me there. What I need is people who are grief counselors,
Mhm.
people who are trained to know how to really talk to people
Yes, sir.
in a way. And I want to gather those people together and we meet and come up with a plan of strategy, a plan of action.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about us coming together and seeing how we can serve these young people and reach them.
Mm.
If you know how to pray, doesn't matter if it's to Buddha, Allah, if it's to Jesus, whatever it is, if you know how to pray, come. Let us go and pray for these young people on the corners. Let us do unconventional things. See, these are the things that going into the hedges and the highways and reaching the people and compelling them to turn
Yes, sir.
from their ways. Let us do that. I don't have all the answers. I would like to
That's why you're trying
host
to link up.
a community meeting I'll give you the location soon. I'm going to keep disseminating the information. There will be a community meeting coming real soon in the next 2 weeks. I'm still kind of weary right now because of what I just dealt with, but yet the work goes on. The struggle continues.
Yeah.
Let us work for these babies. Let us fight for these babies and whatnot. Grief counselors, people who are willing to go and just talk to them, offer them resources and things like that. See what they need. See what's the problem. Why the hell y'all doing what y'all doing? Let's talk to them. Let's give them that avenue. Let's get active in the community. That's what I want to do. Thank you all.
Quick. And thank you, my brother. Let's get this call right quick, and then
Okay.
go. Brother Rick, you're on. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's why they call it programming. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother Rick. I appreciate you calling in, sir. Thank you so much, my brother. All right.
Many times people sit in churches, temples, mosques, and things of such, and they wait for people to come in. What I want to do in this regard is go to the people, go to the young people, right? And we bring them the resources and we say, listen, here's a carpentry program. Here's a construction program. Here's an electrician program. Hey, brother, you live in this community. You got your electrical degree. You could work in your own community. Go door to door, just like you see us doing right now. And now you could pass out your business card and you be respectable and dependable and do a good job and you'll get a good wage in your own community. We don't need white folks for nothing. Yeah. We always trying to run up behind them when we could do for ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Let's do the work. Let's do the work instead of sitting up here trying to have this savior complex of somebody coming to save us. It ain't gonna happen. Yes. It's been 500 years. Let's get to work.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that.
It. So we will talk soon.
Yeah.
And but I'm not gonna take a break. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make my transition to my next guest. But I'm kicking you out. You can listen in.
Thank you, sir.
So what we're gonna do now? We're gonna bring my sister in, my sister Michelle Shelley Rashad.